This is WVUA Law Call.
Hi there, and welcome into WVUA Law Call. Now, as we all know, unfortunately, injuries can happen anytime. But, of course, in the summertime, you're on the road, you're at the lake, you're at the pool. With so many activities, injuries, unfortunately, are bound to happen. Now, you know, if you've ever been injured before, that comes with a lot of issues to deal with, particularly legal issues. That's what we're talking about here tonight on WVUA Law Call, summertime injuries. Of course, not just injuries that happen in the summertime. We're talking all about different types of injuries and the legal issues they raise for you if you have been injured. Of course, maybe it's someone you know that's been injured you've got a question for, or maybe you just want some information. In that case, pick up that phone and give us a call tonight. We've also got another special treat tonight. We're going to have a face that you'll probably recognize who's not with us every day here on WVUA Law Call, so stick around because you're going to want to see our special guest tonight. Here's the number you need to know, though, if you've got a question about injuries, summertime injuries, and what you need to do if you've been injured. It's 205-348-WVUA, 205-348-9882. Also, you can email those questions to lawcall@WVUATV.com. So go ahead, fill those lines up, be the first one to get your call through. This is a very popular topic, and I'm sure those phone lines are already ringing off the hook. We're going to let you know what's coming up here in the next few weeks on WVUA Law Call. Next week, June 25th, a hot topic, something that really gets people talking, immigration law. Then on July 2nd, religion and the law, another pretty heated issue for many folks. Then July 9th, you call the shots, ask us anything great. That's always a great show because we get some really interesting calls. Now, I talked about a special guest, someone that we don't have here every day on WVUA Law Call. Of course, former Tuscaloosa Police Chief Ken Swindle now works with Prince Glover Law in Tuscaloosa. Chief, old habits die hard. I still call you Chief Swindle if that's okay. Welcome to the show tonight.
Well, thank you, Terry. I'm real proud to be here tonight. This is a treat for me. I've got to do this a couple of times since I've been with Prince Glover, and it's just a pleasure to work with them, and I've really enjoyed doing the show, so thank you for having me as your guest tonight. Absolutely.
Now, of course, usually in this seat is Bob or Matt or Josh. They're all busy working tonight, couldn't be here, but we were glad to have you step in for them tonight. And this is something, summertime injuries, is something you're going to be able to lend a lot of information and expertise to, because being with the police department for so long, lots of these things that we're going to talk about tonight are all things that you can give some information about. And real quickly, before we introduce our other special guest tonight, tell us just what you're doing over there with Prince Glover Law.
Well, one of the things I do with them, I help them with the investigations, I do the mediations, I help them with the depositions, and it's a best group of people you've ever seen to work with over there. I'm just real pleased with them. After I went in over there, one of the things that we tried to do at the Tuscaloosa Police Department was to make sure that we had the family atmosphere. And when I stepped in over there, everybody, every employee over there just makes you feel like it's a part of a family. And when a client comes in, they make them feel that way. So it's just a blessing to be able to work with them. I enjoyed 34 years with the city of Tuscaloosa. I couldn't think of anything I'd rather have done with my life. The city of Tuscaloosa, the mayor, the council, they're certainly on the move, and I enjoyed it, but I'm having a blast in this second part of my life.
Absolutely. The second part, of course, some folks might think you've retired. Of course, we know you're not retired, and the guys over at Prince Glover make that pretty clear. They say you're first one there and the last one to leave, so they're very, very happy to have you on board, and we're certainly glad to have you here tonight, Chief Swindle, and we want to welcome our other guest tonight. Of course, our other guest, we can't leave him out, is Bill Poole. He's our guest attorney tonight, and Bill, you have a pretty general practice in Tuscaloosa.
I do. I'm a sole practitioner in Tuscaloosa, and I handle a broad array of client issues, from personal injury to contract disputes to just a very broad variety. So I'm pleased to be here tonight and to field a few questions, and it's a pleasure to be here with Chief Swindle, and I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, Bill, and you're a repeat guest here. Probably some of the folks at home recognize you too, because you've been with us probably about 4 times now, so you're an old pro at this.
Well, thank you. I enjoy it, so it's fun to be here.
Very good. Of course, Bill is an alum of the University of Alabama School of Law, lives in Tuscaloosa with his wife Nicole and little daughter Sally. I think the first time that you were with us here on Law Call, Sally was not quite born yet, I think.
That's right. She's 17 months old, so we have a new addition in our family and are enjoying every minute of it.
That's right, and if you're on Law Call just a few more times, she'll actually be able to watch and know that that's Dad. And, of course, you have a general practice on your own in Tuscaloosa, and you're from Marengo County.
I am. I grew up in Dayton in Marengo County, lived in Tuscaloosa for a number of years now. Enjoy, excuse me, getting back home, but certainly enjoy living in Tuscaloosa.
All right, and we're certainly glad to have both of you here tonight. Of course, we're talking about summertime injuries. This is the type of show where we take a lot of calls because it's something, unfortunately, being injured, of course, as both of you know, is something that happens to a lot of people. Some injuries minor and some very severe, devastating injuries. So that's what we're talking about tonight. I want to go ahead and get to those phone lines. First up is Bobby calling us from Tuscaloosa. Hi, Bobby.
Hey.
What's your question tonight?
Ken will know my voice, I'm sure. But anyway, I want to ask this question. Like, if I was coming out from a business and I waited for the traffic to clear up for me to go across, you know, to the other street, say it's 4 lanes, and I'm going to turn left, and I waited for my traffic to clear up. When it did, I got in the median. And then I'm sitting there waiting for the traffic to clear up in the lane that I'm going in. Okay, while I was sitting there, if someone hit me in that median, is that my fault?
Well, Bobby, one of the things that we would need to do, I'll be glad if you'll call me tomorrow at Prince Clover 345-1234. I'll be glad to sit down and discuss it with you and look at if there's an accident report. Be glad to go over all that with you because there's so many different variables into an accident that could happen. I just have to look at that certain incident and see what was happening. Bill may be able to add something to that.
Well, I agree completely, Chief Swindle. I'm not sure the exact circumstances of that accident. Certainly, various drivers have a duty to yield the right-of-way, and so a critical question would be who had the right-of-way and who should have yielded that right-of-way.
All right, and we do appreciate Bobby's call tonight. Something I want to talk to both of you about is, of course, folks are on the road in the summertime. They're also on the lake, Lake Tuscaloosa, beautiful lake. It very well used in the summertime, especially with the weather we're having out there right now. But there's a lot of laws out there people need to realize when they're on the boat. On a boat, we actually have a photo that illustrates water sports, someone on a Sea-Doo type watercraft. And Chief Swindle, talk about some of the things that people need to know if they are out on a lake.
Well, the lake is a beautiful lake. We've got about 6,000 acres on Lake Tuscaloosa, and over the years it's really grown. I think it was backed up around 1969, and we've changed the laws up there. Adopted different ordinances and all to make sure that everyone's as safe as they can be. But we kind of forget on weekends. We work all week and want to go to the lake and really enjoy ourselves, and sometimes alcohol's involved, and that affects our decision-making process sometimes. But in talking to Officer Ballard and Officer Shane Sanford, they're the two police officers that work Lake Tuscaloosa all the time, and we're so blessed to have such great officers up there. Also have the State Marine Police that work up there. But one of the main things that they have a problem with, a lot of times when people get to the lake, they think they can go anywhere on the water they want to, but it's like in driving on the highway. You've got to stay to the right of the other boats. And we've had wave runners run into boats, and we've had fatalities up there from that. The speed limit on the lake is 50 during the day, and it's 30 at night. And we have a lot of fishing tournaments up there on the weekends and during the day, and a lot of times the fishermen's real safe, but a lot of times they tend to exceed that speed limit. So you have to be real careful and make sure that you're on the side of the lake, on the right side, so that you don't get over and hit. Just always remember, like you're driving in a car, always drive to the right side of the lake, because you've got so many points going around up there, and if you're on the wrong side or going around by the bridge, it's real easy to get hit. And also, licenses are different up there. One of the things that you've got to look at, you can be 12 and ride a wave runner if you've got somebody that's 21 years of age and got a license with you. Or you can either be 14, and if you've taken the test, and you can go on the internet and take it, or either you can go to the state trooper's office and take it. At 14, you can be licensed to drive a watercraft. some of the things about the flotation devices.